Welcome back, Truth Seeker. In the headlines today, the news actually broke late last night, which was Monday, July 22nd, Kamala's big day, the day after she was announced as the person to replace Joe, essentially. Yesterday was Monday, July 22nd. She gave her first speech, essentially running as the Democratic nominee, a position she just slid right into so conveniently, climbing her way to the top with ease is Kamala. But anyhow, last night the news breaks. Today it's all over. Kamala addresses this video that's been released. If you haven't heard about this, it's the latest body cam footage from a police officer assaulting a black person, and this time it's a black woman. We've seen so many videos like this of black men being assaulted by police, but on the day of Kamala, potentially the first black woman to become president of the United States, we get this video, and I mean, you see the headline right here from CNN. Illinois police released body cam video of fatal shooting a black woman in her home. And in Illinois, right, doesn't it kind of remind you of Barack Obama, gave his acceptance speech in the land of Lincoln, one-term senator that took the White House with Biden at age 47. Biden was the 47th vice president in D.C. for 47 years before he became president himself. And now Kamala has a chance to become the 47th president. Illinois, again, the land of Lincoln, who famously said 7 years ago, which is 87, like how old the Pope is right now. Kamala climbed to the top in very Catholic San Francisco, helping the Catholic Church get away with some serious abuse with just some tiny little pats on the hand for it back when she was prosecuting, you know. But anyhow, here's what stands out about this, you guys. Kamala's about to turn 60 years old. This is the 60th election. We know Donald Trump's ex-wife fell down the stairs and died 45 years after their marriage, exactly 60 weeks into the first ever Jesuit Ignatian year. Again, it's the Jesuits and Catholics running this show. But the 60's been huge. We've talked about it a ton in the build-up to this 60th U.S. presidential election. Notice the name of the woman killed, who they referred to as the black woman. She does have a name. Look at her name in light of the officer who's responsible for reportedly killing her in light of this 60th election and this coming, again, Kamala's big day just before her 60th birthday. The woman's name is Sonya Massey. And in Gematria, that equates to 60, just like Sean Grayson, who is the killer, the cop. Body cam footage, for the record, has this Gematria 60. So does the word police. Can Kamala be 60 October 20th this year? If you're new here, Gematria is based on 4 ciphers when it comes to the English language. The alphabetic order, forwards and backwards with numerology. There are other important ciphers, but these are the 4 base ciphers of the English language. Notice how Sean Grayson equals Donald Trump in all 4. And we just talked about the Secret Service hoax. Just days after the 159th anniversary of the Secret Service, which was created by Lincoln the day he was shot, after the 1860 election, like Kennedy was shot after the 1960 election. We just talked about the 48 in the Butler shooting, named after a man from the Revolutionary War who died at age 48. Another big time number. There's so much more to say about it. So many rituals over the years with all these numbers in Trump. But isn't it interesting how they make this political, how Kamala comments on it? That's the thing. On the day of the Kamala news, you get this body cam footage of a shooting of a black woman. And here we are shortly after the supposed shooting attempt on Trump, which was compared to George Wallace, who was a racist. Like some people say, Trump's a racist. But remember, the George Wallace shooting anniversary to the Trump shooting July 13th, from May 15th to July 13th, span of 60 days. Again, just all these same numbers. And not to mention Trump's Operation Warp Speed started on the 48th anniversary of the George Wallace shooting, a different type of shots. If you missed the videos we did in days past, check that out. But yeah, the one thing I need to do myself is actually watch this footage. You can see the date they give you in the still, July 6th. Remember what they did to OJ? They did OJ dirty at age 76. They did Carl Weathers dirty at age 76. Black History Month was recognized by the federal government in 1976. In Gematria, Barack Obama equals 76, like slave, like Negro, like blues, like Rasta, like Acts 7:6, the 44th book of the Bible, like Obama number 44, 44 years after the Civil Rights Act. The 116 also stands out because African American equals 116, like how Mookie Betts went to the Dodgers in the 42 ritual and then helped him win the 116th World Series. Or 42 is that other number all over Black history. Kamala equals 42. The transition comes 42 months after they've been in office. The N-word has that gematria 42 and 60 in light of Kamala being on the verge of turning 60. Again, we know how these psychopaths are with the racism. Here, just to read the story. Here's how it goes. Again, these things hitting the airwaves at the same time. Kamala and this story, Sonya Massey. Body cam footage showing the fatal police shooting of Sonya Massey, a 36-year-old black woman who had called 911 for help, was released Monday in a case that has led to murder charges against a deputy. The 36-minute video, and we've got a 36-year-old, we got a 36-minute video. Little numerological here. Remember, 666 is the 36th triangular number. Video released via the Illinois State Police includes body camera footage from each of the two, I got to zoom it in here, Sangamon County Sheriff's deputies who responded to Massey's house after midnight on July 6th, after Massey called 911 to report a possible prowler at her home in Springfield, according to a court document filed by prosecutors. In the footage, deputies Sean Grayson and another deputy speak calmly with Massey in her home when she goes to the stove to turn off a pot of boiling water. She then picks up the pot, and the other deputy steps back away from your hot, steaming water, he says. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she says in response. Huh? The deputy says. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she repeats. You better effing not, or I swear to God, I'll effing shoot you in the effing face, Grayson says. That's no way to talk to a lady. A lady talking about the sweet name of Jesus. He then draws his firearm and points it at her. And she ducks away and says, I'm sorry, while lifting the pot, the video shows. Drop the effing pot, both deputies yell. 3 shots are heard. After a few seconds of silence, one deputy says, shots fired, and calls for emergency medical services. Dude, I'm not taking effing boiling water to the effing head. And look, it came right at our feet too, Grayson says. Minutes after the shooting, Grayson speaks to another law enforcement figure. She had boiling water and came at me with boiling water, he says in the video. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came at me with boiling water. Again, this transition with Kamala came at the very end of Cancer, July 21st. Cancer's a water sign. Cancer's a water sign. Water's associated with the feminine. We're in this extra hot time of year. I'm out here in the Pacific Northwest. I don't know how your guys' rivers are, but man, our rivers are weird this year. They're totally brown and tons of algae in them. And for all of us who use irrigation water, our irrigation water is just nasty. And this is what the produce is. I just wonder if there's something symbolic to it. Hot water, water above temperature it's supposed to be at. Again, while they're distracting us with all this nonsense, the earth is literally falling apart. And yeah, it's a damn shame, you guys. Ruled over by some wicked people. So everything they do is symbolic, ritualistic, trying to elevate the temperature, trying to pull people apart, make people dive into purposeful sides. And again, united we stand, divided we fall. They know that. Always trying to divide us. The more we're divided, the more we're taken by their lies, the easier it is for them to continue to manipulate us and steer us into the surveillance state, the overtaxation without representation, all the places they're taking us to. Place where Amazon and Walmart and Microsoft and maybe a few other companies dictate our whole lives. But yeah, I'll watch this video and do a follow-up. Till next time, Truth Seeker.